I love hearing other people's opinions. That's why I'm doing this whole show in the first place. Letting you know my opinions on these princesses has been a goal of mine for a long time, and I love to see how other people's opinions differ from mine. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That being said, this video is dedicated to my 3 nieces, Ella, Leora, and Liza. Because they are wrong.
Salagadoola, metricaboola, bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your BFF Snowy Oreo 663 here, right now. And I've been waiting for this day since I was a newborn. I'm talking about the worst Disney princess, Ariel, the Little Mermaid. My 3 nieces that I had mentioned before love this princess, and last Thanksgiving they tried to convince me that she was the best, and did nothing wrong in her adventure. My youngest niece, Liza, loves her more than any other Disney character, and she wants to be a mermaid herself. I shudder at that thought. Ariel is very popular, being the only princess to not be human, having a catchy soundtrack and her own ride. And she's got this live-action remake coming up soon. Cool. Who's gonna play the part? Not gonna say much about this now, and I'll make a video soon saying why I don't like this idea. I'm not against having a black princess, but why Ariel? Anyways, we should actually review this flaming pile of shit movie, just so you can see why this creature should be burned along with all the spinning wheels from Sleeping Beauty. The movie does not open with a book or reading, but with a blurry shot of seagulls and dolphins. The animation sure has improved in 30 years, hasn't it? We see a ship ride in, and piloting this vessel is Prince Eric. He's being told by one of the ship's workers about King Triton, ruler of the seas. Eric's assistant, Grimsby, huffs about the nonsense and non-existent merpeople when a fish gets loose from the worker's hand and plunges into the safety of the ocean below. Some pretty shots of fish play as we get our title card, and we see several merpeople swimming to the palace. Looks a lot less phallic than I remember. This seahorse, who has no name and is voiced by a dude named Will Ryan. No, not that Will Ryan. Although, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call this seahorse Will. Because fuck you, that's why. Will announces King Triton as he swims to the stage. We see that even Goofy showed up to this performance. Next, Will introduces Sebastian the Crab, the conductor. Sebastian is excited to show off his talents, and Triton is excited to see his favorite daughter, Ariel, perform. With magical waterproof paper, the concert begins, and the daughters of Triton begin to sing their melody. They introduce themselves, but don't get attached, since they only show up 2 other times in the film. Ariel is not in her place for the concert, nor anywhere to be seen, as Triton shouts in anger. We then meet Ariel, the most self-centered creature in the universe. I guess you could say she's a little shellfish.
Kill me.
She's exploring a sunken ship with her friend, Flounder, and we notice that he has the magical ability to have the line for his body cross over his fins. He's frightened of sharks, but Ariel pushes him into going inside. There she finds a fork and a pipe, wondering what they could be. A shark appears out of nowhere, chasing the 2 around the ship. Ariel nearly dies trying to grab her bag of treasures, and eventually leads the shark to get himself stuck inside of an anchor. Next, we meet the best character in the movie, although that's not saying much. This is Scuttle, who Ariel goes to ask about the things she finds. He looks at her trinkets, calling the fork a dingle hopper, used to brush human hair, and the pipe a snarfblat. Here is the best part of the movie as well.
Snarfblat dates back to prehistorical times when humans used to sit around and stare at each other all day. Got very boring.
He says they're used to make music when Ariel remembers that she missed the concert and swims off to apologize. It seems she's being watched by 2 eels named Flotsam and Jetsam, and they are projecting what they see to the sea witch named Ursula. She complains how she used to live in the palace until she was banished, and tells her eels to watch over Ariel, as she may be able to help her achieve power. Ariel is being lectured by her father for missing the concert, and Flounder tries explaining why Ariel did nothing wrong. He tells Triton about the shark and the seagull, when Triton realizes that Ariel has gone up to the surface. He yells at her for disobeying him, and she yells back, saying that humans aren't bad. She storms off, and Triton tells Sebastian to watch over her and keep her from trouble. The crab sees Ariel swim off to a secret hideaway, where she has a collection of painted backgrounds. Oh, that's supposed to be the background? Oh. Oh dear. Ariel sings her main song, Part of Your World, about how she wants to live with humans. And she wants more than to swim in the ocean forever. I am biting my tongue right now, trying to keep myself from exploding with rage. She's a freaking princess! Shut your mouth, you little cretin! Anyways, after Sebastian is shocked by waterproof books and oil paintings, he gets caught up in some of her things, but thankfully, they vanish in the next shot.
Hey, Sebastian.
It's gone now. It just vanished.
And now it's back. And now it's back. You see that?
Yeah,
and now it's gone.
Yep, now it's gone. Ariel sees a ship go over her cavern, and she swims up to get a closer look. She even manages to climb up the side and peek in, seeing the dancers and a fluffy dog named Max. The dog sees her and gives her a lick before Prince Eric calls him over. Ariel immediately falls for this man, and she tells so to Scuttle, who just flew over. He replies with being the best character in the movie.
I don't know, he looks kind of hairy and slobbery to me.
Grimsby gives Eric a birthday present, a statue of himself. Eric isn't too into the gift, and Grimsby says how he wishes it was a wedding present. Eric says that he hasn't found the girl for him yet, while not understanding boat safety. Then, because movie, a storm shows up and the boat catches fire. The crew escape to a lifeboat, but Eric goes back on the ship to save Max. Well, at least he's got some morals. Due to the gunpowder on board, the ship explodes, and Ariel manages to rescue the prince from drowning and bring him to the beach. Ariel sings to Eric and he wakes up, dizzily seeing her before Max comes over with Grimsby. Eric talks about the girl he saw while Ariel watches him from afar. She sings that she will be part of his world, while Flotsam and Jetsam spy on her. Ursula laughs at Ariel's foolishness, and makes me uncomfortable.
Daddy'll love that.
The Little Mermaid is acting love-struck the next day, and her sisters tell Triton that Ariel is in love. While she talks about how she'll meet up with Eric again, Sebastian sings to Ariel that Under the Sea is where she belongs. Yeah, this is a side character song. What else did you expect? It's really not all that jolly as most of you remember it, with Sebastian flat out ignoring Ariel, Flounder being assaulted, and, the Blackfish. We don't really talk about that. Flounder leads Ariel away as the song ends, and the fish swim away when they don't see Ariel sitting there anymore. Hey, it's Mr. Limpet! Will shows up to tell Sebastian that Triton wants to see him about Ariel. He freaks out, thinking that Triton knows about Ariel's rescue of Eric, while in reality, Triton just thinks Ariel fell in love with some merman. Sebastian panics and tells about Eric, which causes Triton to get furious. Meanwhile, Flounder had somehow managed to transport Eric's statue to Ariel's grotto, where she fawns over it. Triton shows up, yelling at her, when he tells her that she shouldn't have rescued Eric because all humans are evil or something. Then, Ariel ticks him off to the max.
Incapable of any feeling.
Daddy, I love him!
No.
Really? He never even spoke to you. Jeez. Triton wrecks her collection and storms off, leaving Ariel heartbroken. While her friends leave, the eels come to take advantage of the situation. They tell her that Ursula will help Ariel, and she can get her everything she ever had wanted. Ariel agrees. With an admittedly cool shot, she visits the Sea Witch. Outside of Ursula's home, these slug-like creatures grab onto the princess, but she manages to pull away and head in. There, Ursula tells her that the only way to get Eric's love is to become a human. This is when Ursula sings her villain song. She somehow has magic, and tells Ariel that she uses it on these poor unfortunate souls. She says how she helps their dreams come true, but when they can't pay the price, she turns them into a slug-like creature. So yes, Ursula is totally honest and upfront with what she's going to do to Ariel. Also, honestly, I have never been more uncomfortable. Alright, I'm uncomfortable. I am very uncomfortable.
Chest comes at her.
Ariel debates whether or not to sell her soul and never see her family again, but Ursula talks about what the plan entails. Ariel will become a human for 3 days, and before the sun sets on the 3rd day, she has to get a true love's kiss from the prince. If she does, she'll stay human forever, but if not, she turns back into a mermaid and belongs to Ursula. For payment, Ursula wants Ariel's voice, and she makes me even more uncomfortable.
And don't underestimate the importance of body language. Ha!
I already didn't like the fact that Ariel is a half-naked 16-year-old, but the fact that Ursula says that men prefer women who don't speak, and my uncomfortable levels have now peaked. Ursula presents the contract to her.
Okay, this is what sucks the worst.
For eternity.
No, this is the part that pisses me off about this character. Watch carefully. She takes the pen and she writes her name. So she's literate.
Yeah.
Ursula takes away her voice and turns her human, giving us lots of shots of a naked Ariel before she rises to the surface. I honestly hate how close they get to showing Ariel's bottom. It really does make me uneasy. Hey, at least she has toes, you know? Oh no. That's just for more people, isn't it? No. Sebastian is furious, wanting her to come back and talk to her father about getting her tail back. He realizes that she will be miserable as a mermaid, and offers his help. Meanwhile, Max has sniffed out the girl and leads Eric to her. where she has donned a ship's sail as some clothing. Eric thinks he found the girl who rescued him, but gets saddened when he realizes she can't speak. He takes her back to his castle, where she is given a bath and Sebastian is thrown in the wash. He ends up making his way to the kitchen, where a French chef murders fish. Ariel comes to dinner with Eric and Grimsby wearing a pretty pink dress. Eric is clearly liking her, and they sit down to eat. Ariel sees a fork and begins to brush her hair, only to get embarrassed and stop. She takes Grimsby's pipe and tries to play music, and ends up puffing smoke all over him. In the kitchen, the chef chases Sebastian around, trying to cook him, in a scene that I just call filler. Ariel rescues Sebastian off of Grimsby's plate, and Eric offers to take her on the tour of the kingdom the next day. Underwater, King Triton feels awful for yelling at his daughter, and tells Will to continue searching for her. The next morning, Eric and Ariel tour the kingdom, and end up in a boat on the water. I need a break from Ariel being selfish. Let's bring back the best character. Scuttle tries to set the mood for a kiss, and ends up doing an impression of me whenever I try to sing.
Wow. Somebody should find that poor animal and put it out of its misery.
Sebastian tries his own hand at setting the mood, and I kinda like and don't like this scene. I like that Ariel actually has to try to work hard to get Eric to like her, but I hate how much these animals want this child to kiss this adult. Eric says that he feels bad that he doesn't know Ariel's name, and tries to guess it. Sebastian whispers it in his ear, and he likes the name. They get close to kissing when the eels knock over the boat.
The little tramp.
Jesus!
Oh my gosh.
Jesus, you want to the little slut?
There's some serious slut-shaming going on in this movie.
She decides to try to foil the kiss plan by turning herself human. Back at the castle, Eric plays the song his mystery girl sang to him, hoping she'll show up. Grimsby tells him that Ariel is real and here, and maybe he should stop dreaming and look at what's in front of him. He agrees, throwing his flute away and heading to Ariel's room. Before he gets there, he hears a voice, the voice of his girl, and sees Ursula's human form named Vanessa, and he gets enchanted. The next morning, Scuttle tells Ariel that Eric is getting married this afternoon, but Ariel soon finds it's to Vanessa, not her. She begins to cry as the wedding boat sets sail. Scuttle sees that Vanessa is, whoa, hey now, actually Ursula, and he goes to tell Ariel. She jumps in the water and Flounder pulls her to the ship. Sebastian goes to find King Triton, and Scuttle recruits some animals to stop the wedding. They attack Vanessa, and hey look, it's the King and Duke from Cinderella. Glad those assholes made a cameo. Ariel makes it to the ship, and the animals break Vanessa's necklace, giving Ariel her voice back and unenchanting Eric. He goes to kiss her, but as the sun sets, she grows her tail back. I love the stupid face she pulls. She's like, whoops, what are you gonna do? Ursula turns into her old form and takes Ariel underwater, where she is confronted by Triton. He can't destroy the contract, so he offers himself up in her place. Great job, little girl. You reduced your dad to a slug and gave control over the sea to the worst person imaginable, all because you were a selfish little brat. Good on you. Can you at least put up a fight?
You monster! Don't fool with me, you little brat!
Well, that's all she'll do, ladies and gentlemen. Back to being a damsel in distress where you belong. Eric tries shooting Ursula with a harpoon gun, but he misses. She sends the eels after him, but with Sebastian and Flounder's help, she ends up killing her eels.
My poor little poopsies.
The lovebirds surface while Ursula grows to a giant size, causing a storm and making a whirlpool, bringing ships to the surface. Eric climbs onto one of the ships while Ariel is tossed into the whirlpool, getting attacked by Ursula. Eric steers the ship right into Ursula's side, killing the literal god of the sea with a boat. How pathetic do you have to—
Also, Supreme Leader of the Ocean gets killed by a fucking boat.
Oh my gosh.
As Ursula's pieces fall, all of the souls are freed along with Triton's, and Eric washes up on the beach again. Triton and Sebastian mull around in the shit-colored water when Triton sees how much Ariel loves Eric. He turns her human, giving her clothes this time, thank God, and Ariel and Eric get married. So if he can turn her human, can't he turn her into a mermaid like on the weekends or something so she can visit both places? Okay, guess we're not gonna address that. We have to finish the hilarious subplot of the chef, ending with him getting his teeth knocked out. Ariel hugs her father, saying how much she loves him, which just seems like an insult. You literally did nothing other than bitch, moan, and sell your soul. The couple wave goodbye to the merpeople, and the movie ends, implying that 16-year-old Ariel would get banged by this dude and give birth to this abomination. Ugh, I despise this film, so much so that I used an invisible ink pen and wrote "kill me" over my notes. Seriously. So, how does it rank? poorly. But I might as well give you my reasons. Oh, and my 3 nieces, pay attention. Category 1, Best Princess. Ariel is the literal worst role model you could ever show your child. She gets no punishment for her actions, she's pushy, rude, and never says thank you. She saw a cute guy, big whoop. Lots of girls see cute guys, but they wouldn't change species just to be with them. She has a family under the sea, and her father, while he does have a temper problem, still genuinely loves her. In fact, he sacrifices himself for her, which makes it even worse. He's the king of the sea, and Ursula's power hungry, but Ariel's little stunt could have killed many people if Eric hadn't been such a badass. So in all seriousness, why would anyone sympathize with her? She has a fascination with humans, okay, but that doesn't mean that it has to be her only personality trait. She's brave, but isn't hesitant to put her friends in danger. She's also stupid, being literate and not trying to communicate with Eric. And her selfishness and pushy attitude gets her everything she ever wanted. This is not what a Disney princess is supposed to be. At least with someone like Snow White or Aurora, you could still show to your kids. They're sweet, yet still have their own goals in mind. They aren't very interesting, but they could still be a role model for following your heart's desire. None of their actions could have harmed anyone else. While Snow White ate a stranger's apple, that was foolishness, not selfishness. Ariel is a horrible character. She learns nothing throughout her adventure, has no arc, is rude and manipulative the whole way through, and you know what? I am not even going to sugarcoat it. She is going as far down as I can put her, since one of these other ladies would have to be the embodiment of Satan himself to get put any lower than her. Category 2, Best Love Interest. Eric has more personality, more lines, and more time spent with his girl than any other prince so far. What I like about him is that he clearly thinks Ariel is pretty, but doesn't immediately declare love like many before him. He helps a supposedly wounded mute girl he finds on the beach, gives her clothes, a room, and a tour of his kingdom. He's a really sweet guy. He also saves God knows how many lives when he kills Ursula, which, damn, what a badass move. We can't talk about his marriage to Vanessa since he was clearly enchanted and didn't have control over himself. Another thing I like about him, besides his dedication to save his fluffy friend, is how he gave up on the search for the mystery girl because he was starting to fall for Ariel. And since he still talks throughout the whole film and doesn't have any magical assistance when taking down the big bad, he'll go at number 1. Also, I do kinda have to agree with Ariel. He is pretty cute. One quick thing I want to add, I owe my nieces an apology. For years, I had believed that Prince Eric was 26 years old. I had learned that from a fake website with not credible sources. While ages won't be brought into this factor, I just thought you should know. According to Google, Prince Eric is 18 years old, only 2 years older than Ariel. Which, no. I don't know if the animators had ever seen an 18-year-old before, but that's not what they look like. Maybe 21 at the youngest. Category 3, Best Side Characters. With every movie so far, there's been an issue with the side characters. I hate almost all of them from Cinderella except the godmother. The royalty in every movie so far has been atrocious, but I can stomach these characters a bit better. Let's start with the animals. Sebastian is the leader, he's trying his best under stressful situations, and yeah, he's kind of funny.
Yes!
Yes, Your Majesty.
Scuttle is the best thing ever, I'm laughing every time he's on screen. And Flounder fills that cute character quota. While Ariel's sisters do nothing, Triton is actually pretty good, until he's a dumbass. He loves his daughter, but sometimes loses his temper. Lots of parents can relate to this guy. And let's be honest, what Ariel needs is to be punished, not just yelled at. Him wrecking her things made me feel very emotional for him, not Ariel. The humans are pretty good as well. Grimsby normally would be written as such a nothing character, but he managed to give good advice and got a few laughs. I like this maid lady too, Claudette, I think. She seems like a sweetheart. Overall, not as memorable as the dwarfs in my opinion, but better than others, so these guys are in second place. Category 4, Best Villain. Ursula has the magical ability of making me uncomfortable. I like it in a way though. The way she manipulates Ariel into holding her tongue is a subtle nod to the original book, where Ursula cuts off her tongue. Yeah, literature. It's a mixed bag for me. I love the creepy eels and Ursula's design, while a bit too much boob action is happening. It is very good and well done. She has a solid motivation, a clear personality, and is a joy to watch. However, I'm putting her below Maleficent and Lady Tremaine. I feel like she wasn't as scary as the stepmother in terms of psychological fear, and let's get real, that's a lame way to go out. I can appreciate her turning huge, but being the god of the sea and being taken out by a boat, how lame is that? At least Maleficent got stabbed in her dragon form, that sounds believable. Well, her death did lead to a cool shot. I guess the chef counts as a villain too. He's pointless and has no reason to exist. So this lot will be at number 3. Category 5, Best Princess Song. As much as I hate what this song is telling us, I cannot deny the beautiful animation on Ariel here. It's some of the best in the film, which really isn't saying all that much, but those wonderful shots, minus the backgrounds, are to die for. I like a song that tells about a struggle Ariel is having with herself, and I like that she has a collection of things that she doesn't know what they're called. I guess part of the placement factor has to do with the song's catchiness. This is the first princess song that I actually have on my phone to listen to. It's also one of the only songs that I could sing well, since Jodie Benson's vocal range is similar to mine. Oh, I'm not gonna actually sing it. No. F that. So, mostly for choreography and catchiness, it'll go at number 2. But the message is still awful! Category 6, Best Villain Song. There's nothing to compare it to, but I love this song. It's not really one that I can just sing out of context due to lines like these.
Yes, on land it's much preferred for ladies not to say a word. It's she who holds her tongue who gets a man.
But you have to admit the animation is impressive and it keeps the energy high, and the evil intentions of the sea witch are plastered on her face in amazing shots utilizing impressive angles. I am in love with this one, and I like how Ursula is totally honest with Ariel here. Just based on this number, she's not really a bad guy. So yeah, it's at number 1, but there is still more to come. Category 7, Best Side Character Song. Fuck me, once you hear this damn number, you can't get it out of your head for the next 7 hours. While I really don't think the animation is all that spectacular, it has a better message than Ariel's song. Sebastian just gives it to her. Ariel, you belong here. Sit down and shut the fuck up. I enjoy the colors, and if it wasn't for murder, assault, and, that, this song would be above Hi-Ho. I think I like Hi-Ho better due to the music relying so heavily on the screen activity. That sounds weird. Here, look at this scene and you'll understand. The music goes so well with what's on screen, it fits so perfectly. But Under the Sea has such a happy feel, and I do think it'll be pretty high. Much catchier than Bippity Boppity Boo, so it'll be in second place. Category 8, Best Believable Romance. If I was looking at this from Ariel's side, this would be in last place. He only looked at her for a few seconds, and he was halfway unconscious. Then she declares love? No. Looking at it from Eric's point of view, it's much more believable. He establishes that he wants to find the right girl, and he's pretty nice to Ariel when he meets her. He doesn't instantly fall for her, he doesn't chase her, and he doesn't creep and touch the 16-year-old child. When he finds out that he does love her, he willingly rows out to rescue her from something that he doesn't understand just because he loves her. I do honestly believe this romance from his side, but from Ariel's, no. So they'll be at number 1, but soon we'll get some love equal from both sides. Category 9, Best Animation. I was surprised at how poor the animation was in this film. You're telling me that a shot like this was done 30 years after this? The musical numbers have the most impressive work, but I will admit the animation on Eric and Ariel put it above Cinderella, but the flat, blurry shots and poor faraway angles put it below Sleeping Beauty. The wonderful artwork in that film is miles above some of the best shots in Ariel's feature. This film has much larger expressions, so that gives it a few points, but goodness, that's an awful shot to open a movie on. 30 years didn't improve much here, now did it? So this will be at number 2. Category 10, Best Movie. The musical numbers in Scuttle were what saved this film. They were all well done, but Ariel is a horrible lead, the animation is a nightmare, and the uncomfortable angles of a naked 16-year-old girl make me sick. I honestly do think that this movie needs to be remade, not with live action. Think about a 3D animation of this movie, like in the spirit of Moana. This would be a great movie. We could fix up Ariel's awful behavior, touch up on the flat shots, and maybe have Ursula spawn her at the surface in a dress or something. I don't think this movie is good, but it's not bad. I can't tell you enough how not to show this movie to kids, because kids will likely attach to a mermaid protagonist for the sole purpose of her being a mermaid. But the plot actually moves at a steady pace, the side characters don't take over the story, and I wasn't really bored at any point. But I wasn't smiling and enjoying a homey atmosphere either. I guess this movie will be at number 2, which I honestly can't believe that. I still hate Ariel though. She can die. You know, if you're interested in seeing the Little Mermaid die, be sure to pick up the original book. Spoiler alert, I guess. Thanks for coming to my review. I've been wanting to speak about this cretin forever, and now I have my words out there. Next month, we'll look at the first animated film to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar, and the princess that had one of the worst live-action remakes of all time. See you then, and don't sell your soul to any sea witches, kids.